The former Ari Burger plant produced electricity from 1944 to 2011 and was demolished in just 50 seconds.
The event this morning went on schedule and as planned. The tower fell exactly where they expected it to go.
Went perfect. I was very pleased with how it went.
Experts strategized placement of more than 500 pounds of explosives.
Well, it was 150, 60 pounds in the smokestack and 400 to 500 pounds in the boiler house. But there were, dynamite as well as linear shaped charges, and there were 8 different delays. So it's not like it all went off at the same time. You probably couldn't hear it from here, but there was eight different separate explosions in the boiler house.
And many wonder today why the smokestack fell as opposed to being imploded.
Well, the smokestack, you have to fall like a tree. You have no choice, just the physics of it. If it were brick, you could probably bring it down. The building was prepared so it would do that. It would fold on itself, left the backside stiff, and pushed it over.
And coming up on News 9 at 6, we'll have more on what's planned for the future of this site. But for now, reporting in Dilley's Bottom, I'm Kate Davison for News 9 Live at 5.
New at 5, a bit of a stir in Cadiz this morning as 2 structures and 4 cars were damaged within minutes. News 9's Jessica Haberly is live in the News 9 newsroom with the details.
That's right. Police were called to West Warren Street around 10:30 this morning. They found a busted shed, broken glass, and an 83-year-old driver in the middle of it all. Cadiz police had a puzzle to put together on West Warren Street Friday morning. The pieces included a damaged shed on one end of a parking lot, cracked steps on the other end, and a damaged car in between. There was also a large metal drop box out of place in the adjacent parking lot and 3 more damaged cars. According to Chief Ryan McCann, an 83-year-old driver was responsible.
More or less of a situation, I believe, where she might have went in reverse, struck one vehicle, maybe kind of panicked, went into another gear, hit another thing, and I think it just repeated several times until somebody finally got her stopped.
Let me take you through it step by step. The Cadiz police say the car started over here in this parking lot behind the church, went forward, hit this structure, did some pretty bad damage, but then backed up, ended up pushing a car into the church. There's some damage to the steps over there. From there, forward again, ended up hitting this drop box right here, over into the PNC parking lot, where she hit one car into another. No one was hurt, but there is some cleanup involved. Lots of broken glass swept away, cars must be repaired, and the shed has to come down.
Just for the safety of, you can see that it's just kind of standing there. We don't want kids and things going around there and possibly collapsing the building on them. Just glad that no one got hurt. There wasn't anyone right here in the vicinity when it happened, so no one was hurt. It was just property damage only.
The woman was cited with failure to control. Reporting live in the News 9 newsroom, Jessica Haberly, News 9 Live at 5.
It's about a 5-mile detour, so I encourage travelers to add 10 to 15 minutes to their morning commute.
That detour is thanks to a multi-million-dollar project in Jefferson County. The on-ramp to US 22 East at the Veterans Memorial Bridge will shut down Monday. Additional turning lanes are being added, so drivers may need to find a different way to work. Here's the detour. Take Ohio 7 north to US 22 west. Then you will need to take the John Scott exit to get back onto US 22 East. The detour will be in effect for about 20 days. The entire project should be complete in November of 2017.
Severe Weather Team 9 coverage for you now, live at 5. Another warm July day as we take a live look outside through the lens of our tower cam.
But the rain could be on the way. Let's turn things over to Severe Weather Team 9 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Carter for the latest on the forecast tonight. Kevin.
Yeah, we got our 80s back after that aberration yesterday, only in the 70s. And now we are waiting for some rain to develop. We're kind of surrounded by showers and thunderstorms. A little surprised we've had so little activity so far today. Take a look at the satellite radar composite. Boy, that tower cam shot showed how hazy it is outdoors as well. That hazy sunshine, though, allowed us to warm back up into the 80s. Notice there are showers and thunderstorms to our north, to our west, to our southwest, and they're trying to move this way. Here's a look at early warning live Doppler on radar. Again, one little cell in southern parts of Marshall County, maybe northern Wetzel County. Other than that, not a whole lot going locally. We can put early warning live Doppler on radar into motion over the last 3 hours. And again, not a whole lot's been going on, but zooming this out, we'll see there are more numerous showers and storms all over the place. So expect to see those develop as we go through the evening. And once they get going, going. They'll probably die out later on tonight, but continue off and on tomorrow, especially in the afternoon, and Sunday, especially in the afternoon. So you won't necessarily have washouts this weekend, but a pretty good chance of rain. Here's a look at current temperatures back into the 80s, between 83 and 87 for the most part in our local area. It's muggy as well. We'll take a look at that extended forecast coming up in a few minutes.
A Good Samaritan saves the day at the Grecian Festival in Wheeling after he tackles a man trying to steal from vendors. News 9's Chrissy Clutter has the story. We'll have more on that story in just a couple of minutes. On to our next story. A plea deal rejected. A man facing serious charges, accused of shaking a baby to death, and he'll now go to trial. News 9's Julia Kramer has the story.
A Brooke County man who is awaiting trial for allegedly shaking his 7-week-old baby so hard it caused the baby's death was back in court today, formally rejecting the state's plea agreement. Christopher Kinker is facing serious charges of first-degree murder, abusing and causing death of a child, and knowingly allowing someone else to harm a child from the December 2014 incident that left his baby dead after it suffered broken ribs, a fractured skull, and traumatic brain injury. Kinker reportedly was having second thoughts about a plea agreement that the state presented. The proposal was rejected, with the defense noting it would be unethical to agree to the terms of the guilty plea.
Statute underlying count 3, where there is a knowingly allowing someone to do something that you would know would cause death. I am not comfortable ethically allowing him to move forward with a guilty plea.
Kinker's representation felt the plea would have been more fitting to include charges of failure to protect in place of knowingly allowing a person to harm a child. Judge Ronald Wilson ended the hearing, clarifying the first-degree murder charges and the defendant's final position moving forward.
I want to make certain, because this young man may face spending the rest of his life in prison, that we aren't in an argument about whether he has presented a plea agreement to the court that the court has not fully considered. You are telling me today that this is not an agreement that the court is to consider. Correct.
Kinker's trial remains on track and is scheduled for August 29th. Reporting from Brooke County, I'm Julia Kramer, News 9.
And we are asking you to be a part of our news team. Just go to burst.com/WTOP9 and upload your pictures and video, especially if you had some great vantage points of that demolition earlier today. Then you can see your content on air and online at WTOP9.com.
All right, let's get back to this story. A Good Samaritan saves the day at the Grecian Festival in Wheeling after he tackles a man trying to steal from vendors. News 9's Chrissy Clutter has the story.
Well, Jeremy Davis says he heard other patrons at the Grecian Festival saying someone had just taken off with merchandise. He acted fast and ran after the man, tackling him before police came. Justin Richardson is charged with possession, and more charges could be pending after he allegedly arrived at the Grecian Festival in Center Wheeling on Thursday and attempted to steal from at least one vendor.
He stole some jewelry and started to run off, and I caught up with him and took him down.
Jeremy Davis works the festival held at St. John the Divine Greek Orthodox Church. He says Richardson was walking around acting strangely when patrons noticed items starting to come up missing.
Someone else called the cops. He was just moaning and groaning about being contained.
Davis says he didn't worry about his own safety, and luckily Richardson was unarmed and taken to jail.
The Greeks are my friends. They gave me this job here, and it kind of helps me out once a year. It helps me catch up on everything, and you don't rob from my friends.
And the Greek Festival runs until Saturday night. They say everyone is welcome unless you're planning to steal something. For now, reporting in Wheeling, I'm Chrissy Clutter for News 9.
Coming up on News 9 Live at 5, the conventions are in the books, so now what? Where Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump stand today.
And another police officer shot and killed in the line of duty, the very latest on the investigation.
You're watching News 9 Live at 5 with Rich Pierce, Erica Mulcahy, and Chief Meteorologist Kevin Carter. This is News 9 Live at 5.
I am so excited to experience Rio.
They say sometime a crowded room can be the most lonely place in the world.
The Fat Five is going gold.
Grandview Park, wild and wonderful, starts here.
If you can't decide between an Applebee's fresh summer salad or savory wood-fired grilled chicken, we'll give you both for just $8.99. Applebee's new wood-fired grill salads starting at $8.99 for a limited time this summer, only at Applebee's.
Circa?
Yes, Circa.
Drive your story, Circa.
Watch News 9 live at 5 everywhere on the News 9 mobile app.
Proud to be a guiding light in our community. WMC.
The world will be watching. Will you?
You're looking live at the Ohio Valley from Tower Cam 9. Brought to you by WMC Tri-State Medical Network.
Hillary Clinton made the biggest speech of her life to end the DNC last night, a speech slammed today by Donald Trump, and afterwards Clinton said she could not sleep.
But she's on the trail today. The race for the White House is kicking into higher gear and speeding to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Steve Handelsman has the latest.
Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine set off together to campaign in critical Pennsylvania and Ohio, hoping they got momentum from their convention and slamming the Republicans last week.
It was a journey through Donald Trump's mind, and that is a very frightening place.
Clinton is promising $10 billion for still needed Rust Belt jobs.
I'm not telling you that everything is just peachy keen. I'm telling you we've made progress, but we have work to do if we're going to make sure everybody is included.
She struck a double theme last night, upbeat about America, downbeat about Donald Trump.
Americans don't say, I alone can fix it. We say, we'll fix it together.
A speech from a fantasy universe, Trump fired back on Facebook. In Hillary Clinton's America, millions of people are left out in the cold. In Harrisburg, where Clinton comes tonight, many voters are conflicted.
Kind of terrified by both prospects, to be honest.
Trump running mate Mike Pence hit the road, then hit the trail, and then hit Clinton.
At least what I heard was a commitment to more taxes, more regulation, more government, more of the same failed policies.
Both conventions are over. Both teams set. Game on. Meanwhile, today, another part of the Democratic Party reports being hacked, adding to the concerns that dirty tricks and stolen and revealed secrets could be a factor in this election. I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC News, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
And that brings us to our WTOP9.com survey. Tonight's question: did either of the conventions change your mind about whom you'll support this November? Log on to our website, WTOP9.com, and cast your vote. We'll have the results for you tonight at 11 on News 9 Tonight.
Now let's check in with Jonathan Elias at the Terrorism Alert Desk.
From the Terrorism Alert Desk in Washington, D.C., I'm Jonathan Elias. Success against ISIS may produce more terrorism for the West. That warning coming from FBI Director James Comey. The FBI chief delivered the news during a cybersecurity conference at Fordham University.
Not all of the Islamic State's killers are going to die on the battlefield. Hundreds and hundreds of them when the coalition succeeds, and I'm confident it will, in crushing the Islamic State. Through the fingers of that crush are going to come hundreds of really dangerous people.
New information about the ISIS-inspired teen who killed a French priest. Police say that he passed an investigation to become a baggage handler. He was working full-time at an airport used by more than 250,000 passengers every year. And in Cannes, the mayor there says that he has banned all bags on the city's world-famous beaches due to terror threats. He's concerned that attackers could smuggle weapons or explosives out onto the beaches. From the Terrorism Alert Desk, I'm Jonathan Elias.
2 San Diego Police Department officers were shot during a late-night traffic stop. The officers were each shot multiple times. One was rushed to the hospital in a squad car but died of his wounds. A second officer is expected to survive following surgery. According to law enforcement officials, the shooting took place moments after the officers, who are members of the gang unit, conducted a traffic stop. One suspect has been arrested in this case. He also suffered a gunshot wound. Police are continuing to search for any others who might be involved. Coming up, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Carter is in Severe Weather Center 9 with the latest on your forecast.
How's Jim?
Better. He's coming home soon, and I'm going to assure that he doesn't fall again.
Really?
I listened to you and called Bathfitter. Bathfitter came into our home and turned our old tub into a beautiful new walk-in shower. They took care of everything: the shower seat, safety bars, and even the shower doors. Now we can safely stay in our home longer.
This month only, 0% APR financing for 24 months.
Greta Mitter-Rader here with Pat Moran, local owner of Window World of Steubenville. Why is Window World beating the competition?
Greta, it's simple. Folks are learning that they don't have to spend $500, $800, or even over $1,000 for a high-quality replacement window. Window World is so much less, and with a better warranty. Right now, get 10 premium Energy Star rated windows for $34.35 installed. Call today for a no-obligation quote.
Not only do we stand behind our windows, we stand on them.
News 9 is everywhere, anywhere, anytime.
It's back. Right now, you can earn 4 times the fuel points on gift cards at Kroger.
I used gift cards to get her all set up and got 4 times the fuel points.
They're not just for gifts anymore.
We buy restaurant gift cards and earn 4 times the fuel points.
Use them to buy the things you need anyway and earn 4 times the fuel points on gift cards at Kroger.
Now at Kroger, get 4 times the fuel points on hundreds of gift cards from great shops and online stores. So you can get ready for back to school with 4 times fuel points at Kroger.
What you doing? Just checking my free credit score at Credit Karma. What the? You're welcome. I just helped you dodge a bullet. But I was just checking my... Shh. Don't you know that checking your credit score lowers it? Just be cool. Actually, checking your credit score with Credit Karma doesn't affect it at all. Are you sure? Positive. Huh, so I guess I could just check my credit score then. Oh.
Check out Credit Karma today. Credit Karma. Give yourself some credit.
Sorry about that.
The world will be watching. Will you?
This is a live look at the Ohio Valley from atop Weirton Medical Center. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Carter. Now with your Severe Weather Team 9 forecast.
Well, the players on the weather map still the same. Old frontal boundary to our south has pretty much fizzled out, and now there's just an old cold front which has pretty much turned stationary to our north, an area of low pressure off to our west, and things still not expected to change much until, say, Sunday night or Monday. So we're going to be in for more of the same, but a little more sunshine than I expected today. Not as much rain so far. It'll allow temperatures to get back into the 80s, but already mid, in some cases, upper 80s. I don't think New Philadelphia is going to touch 90 yet, but I haven't seen the official high yet. And again, sun is still out around and through the clouds. But notice we are surrounded by showers and thunderstorms, and in time, these should drift off to the south and east from where they are now and probably visit at least parts of the area. Here's a look at early warning live Doppler 9 radar. Again, we had one little cell in southern Marshall County. It looks like it's pretty much gone, but putting things into motion over the last 3 hours. We've had a few light attempts at some showers locally, but most of the heavier showers and the thunder and lightning has been off to our northwest and even southwest. It's generally drifting slowly off to the east, but we have a very sluggish motion in the atmosphere. That's why this frontal boundary to our north and west is having such a hard time moving through. So more of the same expected. I would expect at least some showers and rumbles of thunder to flare up as we go through the evening and overnight hours and continue off and on through the weekend. The favored time development will be tomorrow afternoon and evening and Sunday afternoon and evening. By Monday, any showers that are left will be in our southern and eastern counties, moving out because by then it looks like this cold front finally gets a push and is able to move on through. But again, if the front gets stuck, which wouldn't be all that surprising, this sluggish weather pattern will continue longer than we're expecting. So severe weather Team 9 Futurecast, some pockets of showers and rumbles of thunder around this evening. Should tend to die out and dry out second half of the night, but it stays muggy with some fog, low temperatures, upper 60s, lower 70s. Tomorrow then, some fog to start, maybe not quite as foggy as it was this morning, where there's some pretty dense fog around, but still at least some patches of fog. Notice scattered showers and thunderstorms get fired up again by late morning or afternoon, continuing off and on during the day. High temperatures tomorrow, lower part of the 80s. If somehow we get more sun like we did today, we could make a run into the mid to upper 80s. So I'm expecting it to be a little bit cloudier tomorrow. And again, the humidity is going to be very high with a better chance of showers and storms. These showers and storms again should tend to die out as we go through Saturday evening, but Sunday they flare up again as that frontal boundary finally starts to make a push on through. High temperatures again should be somewhere in the lower 80s on Sunday, but in time we're going to shove this higher humidity air out, but it will stay warm after the weekend. In fact, temperatures getting back up into the upper 80s, and in time we'll start to see showers and thunderstorms as we go through next week as well. Current temperatures then generally in the 80s, the 83 to 87 degrees in our local area. You know, it's Youngstown in the rain, held down to 71, kind of like we had yesterday. So we'll go 69 overnight, variably cloudy skies. Expect some showers and storms to develop muggy with some fog. Tomorrow, same story, some really fog, otherwise clouds and hazy sun. Muggy, the best timing for the showers and storms coming in the afternoon and evening hours. High of 83, 80% chance you get wet tomorrow, 60% chance on Sunday, high again 83, it stays muggy. And then just a 20% chance of some lingering showers south and east early Monday. Most of Monday should turn out dry, clouds mixing with sunshine, becoming less humid for the first day of August. And then we should stay dry, sunshine, just a few clouds around on Tuesday, just a touch humid, high of 85, pretty comfortable day for early August, but we start to heat it up again, 88 on Wednesday, 89 on Thursday with a 30% chance of a stray afternoon or evening shower or thunderstorm. And a week from today, next Friday, again near 90, very humid with a low of 70 and a 50-50 chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Coming up on News 9 Live at 5, a healthcare worker committed to fighting addiction caught allegedly fueling it.
And the first outbreak of Zika has happened in the United States, the very latest still ahead.
Our National Suit Drive is on now, and we need your help filling these hangers. This July, bring your gently used professional attire to any Men's Warehouse, and we will donate it to men re-entering the workforce. As a thank you, you'll receive 50% off your next purchase. Give a suit, change a life.
Through the Be Connected initiative at Belmont College, every student gets an iPad.
Be connected to technology.
Be connected to research.
Be connected to industry.
Be connected to your faculty.
Be connected to creativity.
Be connected to learning.
Be connected to your future career.
Belmont College, academic degrees, technical training.
Calling Northwood is the best thing I could have done. We have a plan, and for the first time in a long time, I have hope.
Northwood Health Systems, counseling and help for life's challenges.
In any business, price and selection are very important. We refuse to have our prices beaten. There is never a better time to buy furniture, carpeting, or appliances at the store that has it all. Hauser's has better quality, better service, and prices that blow away the competition. Plus, get instant rebate on sales tax. No money down when you buy, fast in-store financing, 90 days same as cash, and no charge for normal delivery. Come on in and see for yourself.
Follow News 9 on Facebook, anywhere, anytime. Our National Suit Drive is on now, and we need your help filling these hangers. This July, bring your gently used professional attire to any Men's Warehouse, and we will donate it to men re-entering the workforce. As a thank you, you'll receive 50% off your next purchase. Give a suit, change a life.
The world will be watching. Will you?
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Or
you're in the good place.
30 glasses of wine and no hangover.
This place rules.
The Good Place, Thursdays this fall on NBC. You're looking at Belmont County through the lens of Tower Cam 9. atop the sports bar at Undo's West in St. Clairsville.
The drug epidemic sweeping across the nation and the Ohio Valley is well documented, and doctors and nurses are joining the fight against addiction.
But in Portland, Oregon, a person who was supposed to be fighting for a solution may have actually been fueling the problem. Our sister station's Bob Hay reports.
There's an ironic twist on the front door of Southeast Portland's Fusion Wellness Clinic, a bumper sticker that says prescription drug and heroin dealing is a crime. That's exactly what federal agents say registered nurse Julie DeMille was doing with help from her office manager, Osasuye Idemonye, and 17 other people. Deb Thomas runs a licensed massage business right next door to Fusion Wellness.
As soon as she comes in, opens her door, the parking lot is full. And people are sitting out in their cars and waiting for people. And she explained it to me, she didn't explain it to me, but her office manager explained it as they did a lot of drug testing and that she worked for the county.
DeMille also worked here at the Clackamas County Health Clinic in Oregon City. The federal government says DeMille and Idemonye came to Oregon from Texas in 2014 after 3 Houston clinics both were connected to shut down under charges of illegally selling prescription drugs. Neither was charged in that investigation. The feds are cracking down on illegal painkiller or opiate dealing because they say opiate addiction often leads directly to heroin use, a growing epidemic in the United States. I went to Julie DeMille's rural property near Estacada. No one answered the door, and DeMille didn't return phone calls or messages on Facebook. Deb Thomas understands the feds' crackdown on illegal opiate dealing. Authorities are concerned because that leads to heroin addiction.
Well, wouldn't all of us be concerned with that? Really? I mean, yes.
Coming up on News 9 Live at 5, a public servant for more than half a century calls it a career. What one of her closest colleagues said about her today.
And what health officials have long feared may be a reality. A Zika outbreak in the U.S. What we know so far, next.
Okay, try it out.
What do I owe you?
This one's on me. Hey.
This one's on me.
Here's a nice surprise. Get any 2 of these Mickey D's favorites for just $3.
It's the mid-year credit sales blitz. Now to the end of the month at A&B Kia. Because our last 2 loan portfolios were so successful with Kia Finance, they have given us now to the end of the month to administer another $3 million in loans to people who were previously unfinanciable to any situation. Don't continue to drive that old junker. This is not buy here, pay here. This is an opportunity to drive the newer pre-owned car of your choice at a payment you can afford, all while establishing credit with a national lender. Apply online by computer or cell phone at ANBAutosales.com. It's quick and easy. Or apply in person at our Benwood location. The mid-year credit sale blitz is now till the end of the month only at A&B Kia.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Or
You're in the good place.
30 glasses of wine and no hangover.
This place rules.
The Good Place, Thursdays this fall on NBC.
Best wife ever.
Right now, pick any 2, like a sausage McMuffin with egg sandwich or bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit for just $4.
News 9 is everywhere, anywhere, anytime.
4x for being one with the water, sand, and the land. For those that let the open air guide them. For inspired style, matched only by what it stands for. Jeep Cherokee. It's how we live 4x for summer. Now get 0% APR for 72 months, plus $1,500 total bonus cash on the 2016 Jeep Cherokee Latitude 4x4.
News 9 is everywhere. News 9 Live at 5 continues right now.
Severe Weather Team 9 coverage kicks off this half hour of News 9 Live at 5. Here's a look at the site of the former R.E. Burger plant. Just hours ago, it was brought to the ground, and at the time, it was a little foggy around that demo site.
For more on what we can expect tonight into your weekend, we turn things over to Severe Weather Team 9 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Carter. Kevin.
Yeah, it was getting foggy on the way home from work last night. I knew we were in for more fog than I was expecting, so lots of fog this morning. Shouldn't be quite as foggy tomorrow morning, at least I don't think so, but there will be some patches of fog around probably Sunday morning as well. Here's the other change. We've had more sunshine than I expected today, but the clouds and eventually some showers and storms should creep into at least parts of the area as a frontal boundary remains stuck just to our north, and we stay in this very soupy air mass. But so far, not much rain has fallen over the Ohio Valley. Here's a look at early warning live Doppler 9 radar. But again, these showers and storms should wobble in as we go through the evening. Probably tend to die out second half of the night, flare up again tomorrow afternoon, die out tomorrow night. Same story on Sunday until we can get the cold front to our north and west through here. We're going to be stuck in this pattern. So showers and storms expected to develop and die out and continue to flare up during the afternoon hours both tomorrow and Sunday. Temperatures tomorrow and Sunday probably in the lower half of the 80s with the bonus sunshine and lack of rain so far today. Some of our hot spots have gotten into the mid, even upper 80s, but no one has hit 90, and I don't think anyone will, even you in New Philadelphia where it's 86 degrees, or Zanesville where it's 87. Most of us make it somewhere into the middle part of the 80s, and dew points, maybe not quite as bad as they have been, low to mid 60s, but again, plenty muggy, and it's going to stay that way through the weekend. We'll take a look at that extended forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Celebrating a career of public service as Wintersville native Mary Nash retires. After working in law for about half a century, Mary completed her last day as chief deputy clerk in the probate court. Dozens of people attended her retirement party at the Jefferson County Courthouse. Mary began her career in 1964 as a legal secretary and has worked over 6 different decades.
Today, we're acknowledging someone who made the life of everybody who practiced probate in Jefferson County a little easier over the last 42 years.
Just going to miss him and everyone. I am. I've had a lot of years here and worked with a lot of good people. Everybody's been good to me, very good to me. Thank you.
Judge Karabi says during her time, Mary assisted countless citizens and attorneys with a true spirit of service.
Work will resume Monday on Lovers Lane in Steubenville. The road will close between Preston Lane and Sunset Boulevard. Utilities are being relocated as part of a roundabout project. Drivers should use John Scott Highway or Sinclair Avenue. They teed off for a cause at the greens of Oglebay today. The 9th annual Heather Miller Memorial Golf Classic was held at the Crispin course. This tournament helps several organizations, including Mothers Against Drunk Driving and CORE, the Center for Organ Recovery and Education. The golf event has also provided 99 nursing scholarships to Ohio Valley students. Heather Miller was a nursing student at West Virginia University when her life was cut short in a crash.
Obviously, the sun came out. This is what she's given us, part of her legacy, and told them just to enjoy the day. You know, you just can't take life for granted.
Heather Miller was only 6 weeks away from graduating college when she passed away. Her organs were donated to several recipients so they could continue life.
It is very likely that the first local outbreak of the Zika virus in the U.S. is happening right now in a small area of South Florida. At least 4 people with the virus in Florida never traveled outside of the country where Zika has been actively spreading. Erica Edwards has the latest on what appears to be the nation's first homegrown Zika outbreak.
1 square mile of land just north of Miami is Florida's Zika area of concern. 4 people there, 1 woman and 3 men, have been infected with the virus. Florida's governor says the cases are likely the result of local mosquitoes. Now scientists are trapping and testing the mosquitoes around patient homes in search of the virus.
While no mosquito traps have tested positive for the Zika virus, the Department of Health is aggressively testing people in the affected area.
Doctors do not expect large outbreaks in this country, but do predict there will be more homegrown cases.
I'm almost certain that we're going to see more. The critical issue is how do you respond to that?
The main mosquitoes responsible for spreading Zika can breed in very small bodies of water, even bottle caps. So health officials say it's important to clear out any standing water. Also, invest in a good bug spray.
Particularly DEET, up to 30%. We need to get over thinking that insect repellent is toxic to us. It's not.
Also Friday, President Obama was briefed on the Florida Zika situation and directed his administration to give that state's governor the support he needs to help fight what appears to be the first local outbreak of Zika on the U.S. mainland. Erica Edwards, NBC News.
The real threat of Zika is to pregnant women and their unborn babies. Zika can cause devastating birth defects, while the CDC has advised pregnant women against traveling to countries where there is active Zika transmission. There have been no travel advisories for Florida.
6 Michigan state employees have been charged with misconduct and other crimes related to the water crisis in Flint. At a news conference today, the state attorney general said the employees' offenses varied, but that each tried to cover up the truth. The result, he says, is that people ended up drinking water that was poisoned with lead and that families were treated as if they were expendable.
The families of Flint will not be forgotten. We will provide the justice they deserve. And in Michigan, the system's not rigged. In Michigan, the system is not rigged. There's one system of justice, and it applies to everybody equally, no matter who you are.
This is the second round of charges related to the Flint water crisis, bringing the total of public officials facing prosecution to 9. Today, federal experts say the filtered tap water in Flint is now safe to drink, but some doctors recommend bottled water for pregnant women and young children. And we are asking you to be a part of our news team. Just go to burst.com/WTOP9 and upload your pictures and video. Then you can see our content on air and online at WTOP9.com.
Coming up on News 9 Live at 5, the Rio Olympics are just days away. What health officials are saying about the Zika threat. And when you think man's best friend, the animal that comes to mind probably doesn't have wings. Well, that's not stopping one duo from having their own set of adventures. Their story is next.
There are a lot of places you can buy a new Subaru, but Bud Bear's the place you should come. It's summer savings time. We have 2016 Legacies for 0% up to 63 months. We haven't had that in years. Come on up, drive one home today.
Bud Bear. For some, grilling is an art. But it's really about the cuts of meat that won't be rushed. The vegetables, alive with flavor. And seafood that only needs a kiss of smoke. Anything less, and you're just playing with fire. Kroger has the fresh cuts and locally harvested produce that will make you want to get out and grill.
Fire up the grill with fresh ground beef for just $1.99 a pound. And whole cantaloupes are only 99 cents each. Fresh food, low prices at Kroger.
There are a lot of places you can buy a new Subaru, but Bud Bear's the place you should come. It's summer savings time. We have 2016 Legacies for 0% up to 63 months. We haven't had that in years. Come on up, drive one home today.
Bud Bear.
The News 9 Health Watch is brought to you by Trinity Health Systems.
At Trinity Health System, we have a profound respect and awe for all creation. We are motivated by the words of Christ to be his hands and heart to those in need. Our doctors, nurses, and staff are driven by selfless performance, combining our expertise with the technology to bridge the gap to healthier communities. Healthcare isn't just about healing, it's about human dignity. Trinity Health System, inspired by faith, serving you with distinction.
You're looking at a live look at Moundsville from atop the Moundsville Housing Authority Golden Towers.
Now time for your health check. Researchers from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology say they've created a portable device that would manufacture small amounts of medications. Experts believe this sort of mechanism would be helpful on the battlefield or for doctors working in remote or developing parts of the world. The device provides a single dose of treatment in a short amount of time that contains a small droplet of cells in a liquid. It then produces a human growth hormone which aids in wound healing. Breastfeeding premature babies could help boost their IQ later in life. A new study from Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston followed 180 preemies from birth through early elementary school. Researchers found infants who got more breast milk within the first month of life had a larger brain volume by the age of 7. They also had better IQs, academic success, and motor function than babies who were fed mostly formula. Breast cancer patients who turn to social media for support tend to have a more positive outlook about the disease. A University of Michigan study shows 41% of women polled said they used texting, email, Facebook, or the internet to connect with support groups. They were more likely to come up with their own treatment plan and be highly satisfied with their decision. But minorities, older women, and those with less education had limited access to social media. Erica.
It's a friendship so unique that it has heads turning. A Mississippi man hits the road, but never without his best buddy, Precious. Susan Parker introduces us to the parrot who loves to feel the wind beneath his wings.
Wriggle, bye-bye.
Meet Precious. This 5-year-old Sunday conure parrot is quite a showman.
Precious isn't a pretty bird, yes.
Mark Harson and his wife Shelley have had him since he was just 2 weeks old.
He's part of the family. He goes to Florida. We just got back, you know.
Bird lovers they are, and Precious is their pride and joy.
As long as he's on our shoulder, he enjoys, you know, being with us at all times.
She's not kidding. Precious likes the road. Open air all the way. Yes, that's Precious on a motorcycle.
He rides on me like he is right now.
There was a time when Precious would ride in a box on the bike, but he gave it up for more excitement. Mark and Precious turn heads to say the least.
Quite a few camera shots, flashes going on.
People have been posting pictures saying, who knows this guy? And it's usually him riding down the road on the motorcycle with the bird on his shoulder. You don't see that every day.
So you may wonder how he hangs on. Mark keeps the speed at 50 or below. Precious hasn't lost his grip yet on the road and off.
Ready?
By the way, Mark and Precious also play disc golf together. Apparently, he has his golf etiquette quite down. He is a bird of few words.
He's not going to be a real big talker, but he's a lot of company.
Good company for Mark, and apparently quite the ladies' man.
He'll love on you, kiss on you. He'll tell you good night. You know, when it's time to cover up and stuff, he'll say it real low, you know, good night.
Kiss, kiss. Kiss, kiss. How sweet. Now that's more than a kiss. No time for more kisses. Precious is always ready to roll. It's time to take off, but don't look for Precious to do that. He's happy right where he is.
Say bye-bye. There's bye-bye.
Precious has many hobbies. He likes camping, boating, and biking. And this is a live look from our tower cam. Severe Weather Team 9 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Carter will have your complete forecast next.
When it comes to patient safety and medical excellence, the Schiffler Cancer Center at Wheeling Hospital is ranked among the top 10% among all U.S. cancer centers. The Schiffler Cancer Center at Wheeling Hospital.
Your car runs more efficiently when replaced with original equipment and tires from Thomas Auto Centers. We offer no appointment oil changes and free alignment with purchase of 4 tires. Do your vehicle a favor and replace worn-out parts with genuine, precision-engineered Mopar parts. We have an extensive inventory of parts, and if we don't have it, we can get it in as little as a day. At Thomas, we don't just sell cars, we care for them.
Whatever it takes, you'll make a deal at Thomas. Thomas Dodge Jeep.
Dealer in the Valley can say this, but beat it by what? $1? Only Team Automotive will do this. Watch. Team Automotive will beat any deal by $1,000 or give you $1,000 on the spot. Wouldn't you drive 30 minutes to save $1,000? Make your dream car a team car. Best price guaranteed. Steubenville and Wintersville.
Each year, more people choose us for emergency care, from minor bumps and bruises to major problems where every second counts. The Sharon and Richard Delesk Emergency Trauma Center at Wheeling Hospital.
The world will be watching. Will you?
Our National Suit Drive is on now, and we need your help filling these hangars. This July, bring your gently used professional attire to any Men's Warehouse, and we will donate it to men re-entering the workforce. As a thank you, you'll receive 50% off your next purchase. Give a suit, change a life. Our National Suit Drive is on now, and we need your help filling these hangars. This July, bring your gently used professional attire to any Men's Warehouse, and we will donate it to men re-entering the workforce. As a thank you, you'll receive 50% off your next purchase. Give a suit, change a life.
You're looking at Hollywood City Center in Steubenville, live through the lens of Tower Cam 9, atop Harding Stadium. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Carter, now with your severe Weather Team 9 forecast.
So far, little if any rain has fallen in the area. More sun than clouds, allowing temperatures to climb to the mid, even upper 80s, but no 90s reported so far. Dew points are down a little bit from where they were yesterday, but still generally in the 60s, so it's still rather humid, and don't really see any relief until we get a cold front through here. That probably doesn't happen until Sunday night into Monday morning. Satellite radar composite, and this is where the frontal boundary is. Northern Ohio, it extends off to the west and kind of drops south a little bit. So we are in the warm and humid section again yesterday because it was so cloudy and wet. Temperatures were stuck in the 70s, but give us some sunshine today and we bounced right back into the 80s. Most of the showers and storms have managed to stay out of the area. I'm expecting some to pop up as you go through the rest of the evening into the overnight, then probably die out, and then we'll see some more waves of showers and storms developing tomorrow afternoon and Sunday afternoon before we get this cold front through here. So we see a few small cells just off to our north. Again, these are in the development stage, so maybe northern Carroll County could pick up some into Columbiana County. This one could eventually drift into Tuscarawas County. Plus, we could have some more development of places we don't see any rain right now. There's another cluster off to the west-southwest of the area that certainly, if it holds together, could drift into parts of the area. We'll put everything in motion. You can see things aren't moving all that quickly. Generally, a very slow west to east movement, maybe a little bit of south to north in it as well. So you have a very sluggish, slightly south to north, call it a west-southwest flow in the atmosphere. Here's a look at early warning live Doppler 9 radar now in motion. There's numerous thunder and lightning hits over the last 3 hours, but most of them either to our north or to our west. And you get closer to the area of low pressure and cold front, which is just around or just south of Chicago, we see more numerous showers and thunderstorms. Everything is going to try to move east, but it's going to take its sweet old time, so that keeps our unsettled weather here right through the weekend. So a few showers and storms developing as we go through the rest of the afternoon and the evening. I think they'll die out second half of the night, but they'll start to pop up again tomorrow afternoon, die out tomorrow night, come back again Sunday afternoon, maybe linger longer Sunday night, but by Monday morning, if there's any rain left, it should be our far southern and eastern counties. That should go by the boards, provided this system does get a kick and moves off to our east. And again, it leaves us with a basically dry and pretty warm week next week until the next batch of showers and storms catches up with us. So severe weather Team 9 Futurecast, some green on here at 8 o'clock in the evening, but notice how Futurecast takes it out pretty quickly. Maybe a shower or rumble of thunder could last to the midnight hour or shortly thereafter if we get anything to actually develop and move into the area. The rest of the night then, muggy with some fog, low temperatures in the upper 60s. Tomorrow then, fog in the morning, maybe not quite as thick as it was this morning, but there'll be at least some patches of it. Notice by afternoon, more showers and thunderstorms expected to develop. Going to go 80% chance of rain tomorrow. High temperatures into the lower part of the 80s. So these afternoon and evening showers and storms will tend to die out as we go through the second half of tomorrow night into Sunday morning. Some fog will develop. Temperatures again starting off close to 70. And Sunday, with the front beginning to move through, more scattered showers and thunderstorms. About a 60% chance to get wet on Sunday. Highs again should make it into the lower 80s. Hopefully we can get rid of the rain by Monday. But again, another side of that coin, I'd like to see us get a half inch to an inch or so of rain to kind of green up the brown lawns outdoors. Current temperatures in between 83 and 87 degrees. We'll go 69 for the low overnight. Variably cloudy skies, scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly this evening into the middle of the night. Then we should tend to dry out, muggy with some fog. 83 tomorrow, clouds and hazy sun, mainly afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms. It stays muggy. 80% chance you'll get wet tomorrow. Still a 60% chance of rain on Sunday. High again 83. It stays muggy. First day of August on Monday, 83 degrees. Maybe some showers early south and east, but mainly dry, becoming less humid. And then a pretty nice looking day for early August on Tuesday. High of 85, not terribly humid. We warm it up to 88. The dew points creep up a little bit by Wednesday afternoon. Then 89 on Thursday and Friday. And we'll start to introduce the chance of showers and storms again. 30% chance on Thursday, 50-50 proposition on Friday. Guaranteed weather weather, predicted a high of 83 for today. We made it to 85. That's within 3 degrees, so we can give out a lunch cooler. Today's weather winner is Mike Williams of Bel Air, Ohio. Congratulations. We'll send that lunch cooler out to you. Keep sending in the names and addresses. We'll try to keep sending out the lunch coolers. You know, when I go outside in the evening, you start to hear the late summer insects. It always makes you think it's time to go back to school. August is just around the corner.
I can't believe it.
And yet it's going to be,
Don't tell the kids.
It's going to be hot and humid. Yeah, kids, you didn't hear that. Not from me anyway.
No, that's always tough news.
Maybe they're getting bored with summer yet. Probably not.
I somehow doubt that.
Yeah. All right, Kevin. Coming up on News 9 Live at 5, they are supposed to prevent you from burning, but aren't doing the trick. What you should know about novelty oven mitts ahead.
And the National Day of Celebration for lovers of barbecue, buffalo, and blue cheese dressing.
Do you have a special event coming up? You'll want to get your special someone the best cake in the Ohio Valley with Gus's Goodies Signature Cakes. A Gus's Goodies premium decorated cake will be sure to kick off the celebration.
Did you know that Whitesides in St. Clairsville is the only local authorized GM Business Elite dealer in the area? We are the experts in the commercial truck business with over 30 years of experience. 3/4 and 1-ton trucks, work-ready utility trucks, dump trucks, flatbeds, cargo, passenger, conversion, and utility vans. Handicap vehicles. Stop in or call Whitesides today, your GM Business Elite dealer.
It'll pay to drive to Whitesides.
A day at Kennywood is an experience like no other. There's a story in every spin, an adventure at every turn, a memory in every bite. The Whale is back, making Noah's Ark better than ever. See the new Ice Age in 4D and feel the rhythm of your pounding pulse on world-class thrills. A day at Kennywood is a day that lasts forever because a day at Kennywood is unforgettable. Save up to $20 when you buy Fun Day tickets online at Kennywood.com.
Value City Furniture presents how to make the most of every moment. First, take any moment and make it your own. Boop. There's a moment. Another one. There's another. This one needs help. Head to Value City Furniture, where you can always find furniture that makes any moment perfect at prices that are perfect for everyone. Perfect. And that's how to buy the perfect piece at Value City Furniture. Circa?
Yes, Circa.
Drive your story, Circa.
Auto Choice has tires, and more tires. Hundreds of tires, and they're all on sale. Goodyear, Mastercraft, and Crosswind tires for as low as $29 each. All at Auto Choice. 2 great locations to serve you. Route 2 Moundsville, Route 7 Bel Air.
Do you have a special event coming up? You'll want to get your special someone the best cake in the Ohio Valley with Gus's Goodies Signature Cakes. A Gus's Goodies premium decorated cake will be sure to kick off the celebration.
You're looking at the Ohio Valley through the lens of exclusive Tower Cam 9. News 9 continues.
The World Health Organization Director General has said a week before the Olympics begin in Rio that the risk of Zika infection has been found to be both low and manageable. Brazil has been the hardest hit by the Zika outbreak. Many competitors have decided not to go due to the risk. The assessment made by the WHO was based on the latest understanding of the disease and actions taken by Brazil's government.
Some developing news now out of Marshall County. This is a photo of a fire on 5th Street in Moundsville. We're told 3 people lived there and everyone made it out okay. We do have a crew on scene and we'll have much more on that fire tonight at 10 on News 9 at 10 on Fox 9 and right here on WTOP 9 on News 9 tonight at 11. A burn hazard has prompted the recall of more than 375,000 oven mitts. The recall involves the Marvel Thanos Infinity Gauntlet oven mitts sold exclusively at LootCrate.com as an item in their May subscription Power Theme Box. The oven mitts lack thermal protection, so they pose a burn hazard. Loot Crate has received 241 reports of burn injuries. Consumers should stop using the product and contact Loot Crate for a replacement product. Walmart says it's adding 2 boy dolls to its My Life As line of girl dolls, making it the first national retailer to offer 18-inch boy dolls. Walmart says it learned from some of its customers that kids want an 18-inch boy doll, but they couldn't find a retailer that carries them. The new schoolboy dolls will arrive in Walmart stores and online at walmart.com this August.
If you love chicken wings, you have good reason to celebrate. Today is National Chicken Wing Day. Some like them hot and spicy, while others like them sweet or plain or dipped in blue cheese dressing. But no matter how you like them, some restaurants are offering freebies and deals to celebrate. Chains Hooters and Buffalo Wild Wings both offer deals today. NBC has struck a deal to post daily Olympic highlights on Facebook and Facebook-owned Instagram. The network won't be live streaming any Olympics events or coverage on Facebook or any other web partner, but it will publish up to 20 Olympics highlights per day on Facebook and Instagram, as well as a 2-minute daily recap show exclusive to Facebook. NBC will also use Facebook Live to create videos with athletes. If you want to see events live, we've got you covered. WTOV 9 is your home for the Rio Olympic Games.
Coming up next on News 9 at 6, a historic plant demolished. Up next, we'll tell you what's in store for that site. Still ahead.
For those moments, C&R Garage Door Repairs will have your garage door looking like it's seen much better days.
You can't do that.
Staffolino, the